it's me. There's a kind of lostness that comes when we're cut off from our inner reality. And whether we realize it or not, most of us walk around in this state, disconnected from the truth inside us, searching for direction in a world that can feel cold or indifferent. But the ones who find their way back, those are the ones who quietly lead, not by force, by the deep knowing that comes from within. When Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is within," he wasn't speaking in metaphor. He was pointing to a real living power already inside you, a place of peace, truth, love, and unshakable creative potential. Not someday, not far away, right here, right now. There's a paradox, though. Path back to this inner reality feels hard. Not because it's actually far from us, because we believe it is. We live with the sense that life is something we were thrown into, that the universe is static, that it doesn't care, that it has nothing to do with us. And that illusion makes everything feel heavier than it really is. What if it's not life that's hard, but rather the way we think about life? That's what today's journey is about, gently dissolving the fog of illusion and discovering 3 powerful layers of reality. If you can truly take these in, not just as ideas, as something you live, you'll begin to feel a quiet sense of coming home. So the first level is what you believe exists. The second is what actually exists. And the third is what could exist. What you believe exists, what actually exists, what could exist. These aren't just philosophical ideas. They show up in the most personal ways, in how you feel when someone doesn't text you back, in your assumptions during an argument, in the way you label yourself when you feel off. Each and every reaction you have that doesn't leave you peaceful or alive is an invitation to ask, what do I really think is happening here? That question alone is a doorway. But here's the tricky part. Most of us don't know what we really think. We carry vague feelings like anxiety, sadness, or anger, and we stop at the label. I'm anxious. I'm depressed. That's just the surface. If you look deeper, you'll find layers of belief, often contradictory ones, living underneath. You might believe, for example, that you're both completely unworthy and secretly superior to everyone else. That combination creates a web of confusion, self-judgment, and defense mechanisms. And those distortions ripple out into your relationships and your world. That's why the first level, what you believe exists, is so important to uncover. Because until you name it clearly, you're living in a fog, reacting to ghosts you can't see. Now, the good news is that just naming your beliefs, even the irrational or childish ones, brings relief. It takes courage to face the parts of you that feel foolish or afraid. But as soon as you see them for what they are, you begin to loosen their grip. And then gently you move to the second level, what actually exists. This level brings a deep exhale because what actually exists is never as terrifying as what you imagined. The truth may reveal your flaws and fears, but it also shows you your strength, your value, your wholeness. You realize, I'm not broken. I'm just believing stories that aren't fully true. And then from here, something beautiful happens. You begin to glimpse the third level of reality, what could exist. This is the level where creativity, freedom, and inner guidance come alive. It's the space where you stop trying to force change through willpower or escape into fantasy, and instead start co-creating with life. You begin to ask, what else is possible? And that question expands your reality. Now, I want to be clear that this is not about bypassing the now. You can't leap to infinite potential by denying your current limitations. You need to meet what's here first, because your current reality is shaped by your current beliefs, and only by facing it can you transform it. And then you start to see how even the most fixed things, your habits, your relationships, your body, your outer world, are in motion. Energy, malleable, created by consciousness, your consciousness. And this is the beginning of true freedom. It's the movement from pre-reality to what you believe is real, to what actually is, to what could be. And in that moment, something subtle and profound shifts. You no longer feel thrown into life. You remember that life is arising from you. And this is where inner guidance awakens. Not as a voice from somewhere else, as the quiet knowing that's always been here, waiting for you to listen. If today's message meets you in a moment of confusion, take heart. Confusion is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that something deeper is ready to come forward. Ask yourself gently, what do I believe exists? What actually is? And what could be if I stopped believing the old stories? You're closer to home than you think. Love you. Connect soon.